Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and thanks a lot for checking today's video out. Always much appreciated. Today guys, I'm going to tell you about the biggest sack of fish I've ever caught in a tournament flipping, which was on Memorial Day many years ago. I'm going to go over how that day went and probably learn something from it here. There's always a lesson to be learned in fishing regardless if you catch them or not. So I'll share the day, how it went, everything, and tell you how I caught the biggest bag of flipping fish I ever caught in a tournament. Won the tournament too. So anyway guys, real quick before we get started, just a couple quick reminders about our Fish the Moment virtual lessons. If you guys are interested in booking a lesson with me to go over any fishing questions you have, any lake you have, you can do that by going into fishthemoment.com. I'll put the link in the description, and you can also order one of our summer lake map breakdowns there if you're struggling to find fish in any of the lakes that you guys fish. So link in the description there. Much appreciated, guys. Okay, here the deal was, guys, it was actually, this was, I believe it was, 1987, I think, down at Grand Lake on Memorial Day. They had a Memorial Day tournament down there, and it was a buddy tournament, and I got into it with a friend of mine from Joplin there, so we went down to fish this. And my parents had a trailer on Grand Lake, so I was down every weekend, so I was real familiar with everything. And it was Memorial Day. The conditions were, the lake was about probably 3 feet high, so you had about 3 to 4 foot of water, maybe 4 foot high, but 3 to 4 foot of water in the bushes there. Sort of a perfect scenario for flipping. And the leaves were starting to bud out a little bit on the bushes. These were buck brushes and willow trees. And they were on flatter banks, and that was the thing about fishing Grand Lake, guys. 35 years ago, there were so many beautiful willow trees, but all the developers have come in there and just destroyed it. We've lost 75% of our willow tree and buckbrush cover on lake because developers just came in there and just ripped them all out. So all these places where I won this tournament at, there's not even any bushes there anymore. They just bulldozed them out of there, which is ridiculous. So anyway, we get out there, and it was total old school. Had a half ounce black and blue jig. No, it was a half ounce black jig with a solid blue #1 Uncle Josh pork frog, which was my staple. 30-pound test, high visibility monofilament line, 7.5 foot flipping stick. And we got in there and pulled up on this one flat that I normally fish quite a bit. I've caught some fish in there. Guys, they were biting. I can't believe how good they were biting. It's almost like every bush that you flipped in had a fish in it. I don't know what the deal was. The conditions must have just been perfect. And there was a lot of traffic on the lake. This was Memorial Day, so there was boats everywhere, which is normally the fishing's not that good on a busy day like that. But we made one pass down that flat, flipping those bushes there, and we probably had, at that point, after about an hour or so, we had about an 18-pound limit, which was a big limit, don't get me wrong. But that was just getting started. Started running some other flat areas that I had like that with willows and just willow trees and bushes on that. Guys, every place I went, we just were whacking big ones. And by noon, we had almost 28 pounds, 5 that weighed 28 pounds. And these fish were so aggressive. It's like you pitch it in there, and sometimes they'd hit it on the way down. Sometimes a big one, when you were trying to pull it out of the bush, they'd come up and grab it. It was the best day of flipping I've ever had in my life, anywhere. I mean, Grand Lake for sure, but anywhere out there. I've never seen a day where the fish were so aggressive, big fish on flipping. So we won the tournament. I think we had 25 fish. It was a 6 fish limit at that time. We had 6 fish that weighed 28 pounds and change, and lost several. I mean, we probably could have had close to a 30-pound bag, but I just couldn't believe it. And it's like that experience gave me so much confidence in that setup there, that black jig with that blue frog setup. And it was really weird because the frogs that I had, they'd been sitting. They were pretty old. They'd been sitting out for quite a while, and they turned like a sort of like a baby blue color. They weren't like a standard blue frog. It was this real off-colored, pale blue. And I've tried to duplicate that since, and I couldn't do it. I don't know what happened, what the deal was with the brine in the water and the sunlight that hit it or something, but man, there's something about that they ate that thing up. But anyway, guys, that was a day I'll never forget, man. That, like I said, that was 35 years ago, and it's still fresh in my memory. I can remember every stretch that we fished, almost every bush, because it was just such an incredible day of fishing. And like I said, it's just a shame now because those developers down there have just completely ruined it. You know, they've either built RV parks or they've built houses on there. They come in there and just clear off all the cover, and we lost so much habitat. And that's why Grand Lake anymore, it's not the shallow water lake that it used to be. There used to be
Finally,
a lot of shallow water big fish there. It's not like that anymore. It's like any place else. You can't win unless you're live scoping there, and you can't catch a 28-pound bag flipping there anymore. It's just the cover's not there to do it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you guys. Hope you learned something from it there. Maybe you can duplicate that and try to get you some baby blue frogs if you can figure out how to make them. Might help you guys get bit there. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk later.